Hey everyone, I'm Curtis,
And I'm Shank.
and you're listening to the Good Buds podcast.
Let's get dispatched.
Welcome to the Good Buds podcast, the show where good buds smoke good buds and talk about them. This is episode 7, airing Monday, September 28th, 2020, on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and many more. Thanks for joining us.
Today's episode is brought to you by our good friend and meme ambassador, Isaac, who kindly helped to sponsor our advertisements and has been an integral part in sharing our show with everybody from the beginning all around the world. A big thanks, Bud, to him, and a big thanks, Bud, to all of you out there listening right now for showing your support in any way you can.
We're desperate. So, Shank, how you doing today?
I'm absolutely fantastic, my friend. I was having a beautiful day today, messing around with some music, did some drop C sharp tuning, heavy chug 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 stuff, and it was a blast. How about you?
It's good. Had a pretty long weekend. Was working a lot, so nice to be nice to be out of work at least. Had a day off. I did
Nice.
go to the gas station before this, and I did mess up a little bit.
Wait, same gas station from the one that had the fire in the
No,
bathroom or a different one?
nope, different one, other side of the street.
Okay. Okay. So what's up?
So I went in there because I wanted to get 6 cans of Sprite,
Yeah.
but I messed up and I ended up picking 7 up. So anyway, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you like what we're doing, check us out on Patreon. Consider donating to the show. We will be adding reward tiers in the future.
We absolutely will be doing that. And now let's get into the review.
Good Buds review, good Buds.
So, Curtis, what are you burning today?
Today, Shank, I'm going to be smoking on some Master Kush. Master Kush is an indica strain. Little origin tale here. It is a crossbreed of 2 different land races of Hindu Kush. So this is a pretty old strain. This is, one of the OGs, if you will. This was done by the Dutch White Lab Seed Company of Amsterdam. Just to let you know how old this is, this won the 1994 High Times Cannabis Cup in the Hydro
Oh,
category. So,
nice.
not putting a full date here, but this may or may not have been older than me. But,
Yeah,
you know.
that's it. Yeah,
Uh,
it's been around for a bit.
as for the description, the nugs on this are a nice medium-sized light green buds. Very light, very aerodynamic. They have this long central stem that goes all throughout it with little bulbs that you can just pick off and pry off as you need them. Uh, it has a very light crystallization coating, but by far the best quality of it is the copious amount of orange hairs over it. This is by far one of the hairiest nugs of weed I have ever seen. This is like a Chewbacca style strain. Like you put it in your bong and your weed is going as opposed to the usual sound. Like this is a very hairy nug, but nice little orange hairs covering the entire thing. Uh, as for the scent of it, it's got this very piney, peppery scent that is light, yet it lingers. And it turns to this herbal, earthy scent with a slight citrus tone at the end.
Nice,
Very nice.
nice.
Uh, so, what are you going to be smoking on us today?
Today I am going to be smoking a strain that I picked out specifically because the name reminds me of one of my favorite songs by my favorite band, Dispatch. This strain is called The General,
Huh.
and it's called The General. It's grown by Edison Cannabis Co. It also says on the bottle Grapefruit GG, so it may be a grapefruit strain crossed with Gorilla Glue, but that's just my speculation. They're being pretty tight-lipped about it, so I couldn't find any information, but I do know they call it the General, and it's a strong sativa, 21% THC, I believe. Um, as for the look of this nug, it's beautiful. They're fairly large nugs. They're not all small. They do have a few small ones in there, but for the most part, nice big nugs. But they're vivid green nugs with almost prison orange hairs all over it. Not quite as covered as you described yours, and you guys can see from the pictures that we will put in the Instagram that how these nugs look. But Not as covered as you've described yours, but it is nice and covered with these prison orange hairs. These tight nugs. They're even though they're very large, they are tightly compacted. So when you put a little tiny bit of it in your grinder and you bust it up, you get a heck of a lot out of it. Um,
Nice, nice.
yeah, it's great. I love weed like that where you take like a little nug. You're like, oh man, I've only got a little bit left, and you plop that little nug in the grinder and you bust it up, and it's enough for 3 joints. You're like, oh my god, yes. As for the smell though, it's oh, it's nice. It's very got a strong citrus forward smell. Grapefruit is the main one. With almost a minty aspect to it, like nice kind of minty undertone. And this little bit of a musk, like like almost like a diesel type musk. With like hits of pine that stick around after the smells have gone away. So, once the smells have all taken off at the end of the party, it's kind of like, hey man, can I crash on your couch? And just sticks around in your nostrils so that you can smell it. And I like it, man. It smells absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to try it. I'm sure that you're jumping at the bit to try yours.
Of course, of course.
Um, so, like I said before, these nugs will be available. Pictures of them will be available on our Instagram. You can check them out and see what they look like yourself. They'll also be on our YouTube channel when that comes out. So,
The
you got your
pictures
bong
will
there,
be
Chris?
available,
The
not
pictures, yeah,
not the
the nugs,
nugs.
yeah. No,
We do
you
not
can't.
sell.
If you want them, no, if you want them, you got to go find them yourself at a legal dispensary. But that's all we can recommend. But so you got your bong there, right?
Of course.
Yes, sir. I've got my bong here too. I think it's a good time to try them out.
For show, bro. Lighters up. Tokes kabokes.
Yes, sir. Ooh, yeah, buddy. Oh
Ooh.
man, Curtis, how's that hitting you, brother?
Ooh. Mm. So, I'm getting this nice, soft herbal taste. It's like sweet parsley almost. Like sweet parsley freshly plucked with morning dew on it almost. Like very nice, very serene. Now this drifts into a nice soft uh earthy tone with this citrus flavor at the end of it. The hit itself isn't hard, but it feels like when I inhaled it, it almost like uppercutted the roof of my mouth with flavor and
Yeah,
then angled back down and shot down my throat, and then I just tasted all of it, and it
it's like a
was
'90s candy commercial. It punches your mouth with flavor.
punch, taste the rainbow.
Taste the flavor in the punch when it punches your mouth.
Exactly. So it was very nice, very flavorful. But how did yours hit ya?
Mine was a magnificent, well-rounded toke, man. It was soft though. It wasn't a very like hard toke. I definitely didn't get any of the punching. I'm starting to think that your strain may be a little bit more violent than mine. But but it's a
You
very
talking shit,
soft.
bro?
Well, no. They're all good, man. Hey,
Kidding.
every weed is beautiful in its own way.
Anyway,
But it's a soft. It didn't punch me though, unfortunately. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm thinking in my case probably unfortunately because yours sounded fantastic. But it has a soft rounded hit, with a beautiful full flavor though. Like you get this nice like taste the second it hits your tongue, and it's that grapefruit hits ya, up front with like these floral notes, almost like a flowery kind of lilac or rose kind of taste to it. And the pine almost disappears, but you can kind of get it in the back of your throat. Not in the way that it burns, because I know some weed can be pretty high in pinene and can make the back of your throat feel like you just took a whole menthol cigarette and burnt it halfway down. But this doesn't do that. Just you know it's there. And my favorite thing about this strain so far, aside from everything else, that's my favorite about it, um, is that it has no dry mouth. That toke, when I blew it out, my mouth was completely 100% chef's kiss. I didn't have to worry about taking a sip anything right away, which
nice.
some strains that I've tried out so far through this have done. Um, Now, that's definitely our opinions are fantastic. We love them. But what are the opinions of the other stoners out there on the review sites, Curtis? What are you reading for us?
Well, according to these review sites, a according to them, Master Kush appears to have this full body relaxation. Uh, it has a focused mental high with sharpened situational awareness, apparently.
Nice. You are gonna enter the next level of awareness, Curtis. It's amazing.
Uh, it is apparently stress relieving, which is nice. So apparently, I'm about to ascend to an higher plane of existence.
Man, you are
But
going to be you are going to be
uh,
a Buddha.
nope, downfall. I
No,
have
you're not.
cottonmouth,
No. Oh, rough,
which
rough.
I can already feel it because, as you said, yours had no dry mouth with your hit. Mine
Yeah.
almost immediately. I'm like, you know what? I
Like
need
sticking a sponge in your nose.
more of this 7-Up and a little water as well.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. So what's it say about the general on there, bro?
The general is a high energy, focused high, a mindful and uplifting uh,
Oh, nice.
feeling
We'll
it as
both be
well.
uplifted.
It's great for stress relief as well. Now,
Hey,
the only difference really is yours has no dry mouth, according to the
hey.
review sites, but
Ooh.
you may catch a case of the munchies.
Oh man. Well, luckily for me, I live in a perpetual state of the munchies, and I'm never far from snack foods. So I
Always
think I
excellent.
should, yeah, I should be okay, right? And you'll be
And
okay. You got
oh
some
yeah.
beverage nearby, and I'm sure,
And
if you get hungry, your bagels and peanut butter.
speaking of never far, have you popped out a joint today?
Oh, actually, hold on, man. One second. I was meaning I meant to do that before the cast, but just let me just. Oh, there we go. Got one.
Okay. Oh, I thought I had one. So sorry guys, this is embarrassing, but there we go. All
You
right,
good?
so I got my joint. Yep, right
All
here.
right, sweet, man.
So
What's yours rolled in this week?
mine, I'm using raw pre-rolled cones today. I figured I'd
I'm
stop
using.
making you jealous with the Juicy J's.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Though you can use the Juicy J's, it makes me entirely happy to know that someone
I'm
out there
not
is enjoying it.
I'm not gonna use
But
them until I can guarantee a care package with you with some absinthe flavored Juicy J's.
I love you, bud.
I love you
But
too.
today the reason why I asked today is because I'm actually using Zigzag organic hemp papers today.
Ooh.
I'm just using something different.
I'm
Shanks
actually
just
using
switched
the
it up.
organic version of the raw cones specifically. So we're
Oh,
both
dude.
going organic today.
Dude,
And
that's lit. Just like these joints are about to be.
not to mention, this is the episode of what would we consider it? Commanders,
Yeah, yeah, it's
the
the episode, the
commanding Kush
Commanders
episode,
episode. Yeah, yeah, because I've got the general and you've got the
the
master.
master,
It's the master and commander.
master and the general. This
This
is
is
Commander
awesome.
Kush episode, but
Yeah,
we
the
got these
commander
joints
cushions.
here. We got some
Yeah,
lighters. I think it's time
420
to
somewhere.
420 somewhere. I think it's time to fire it up.
Let's light them up. Mhm. Yes, sir. Oh, man, this is magnificent. I love this weed. That taste hits me like a bus of love.
That
Oh man.
earthiness and the organicness. I'm feeling one with Earth right now. Like I hate to
Yeah,
sound like a hippie, but
yeah,
deal with it.
especially in the the those papers, the nice organic papers. I feel like I could pretend to be vegan for a minute.
I can I can act more pretentious. I use organic rolling papers.
I hear only the most organic, free range, organic papers.
Uh,
But yeah, man, no,
my
that's
bong was grass fed. Thank you. It was made in a kernit. It was made in a kiln that does not use electricity that was used by fracking. It was actually
yeah,
generated by two goats and a stone wheel outside.
yeah, yeah. They lit the goats on fire and then they used them as a natural fuel source,
Honestly, I,
renewable.
honestly, I think butane from lighters is harmful to the environment, so I just light my pubes on fire using
So
sunlight.
you have to see the direction I thought you were gonna go is that you use a magnifying glass from the sunlight to
Yeah,
light like a hemp wick,
no,
but
I do
pubic
that
is
same thing. I just light my pubes on fire.
that's a great direction to go.
The hemp wick still burns fossil fuels that are harmful to the ozone.
No, oh my God, you're right. What about the manufacturing process for the hemp wick? Oh my, I'm just joking. We're both from advocates for hemp
We
manufacturing.
don't give a
We think
we don't give a
we don't
shit.
give a shit. Burn your
I'm
pubes, burn
joking.
hemp, burn butane. It's you're fine. Like honestly, we know that what you're doing at your house isn't the cause of the world's pollution. It's like the top companies or whatever. Everybody knows that. Anyway,
Also, if you are
um,
out there and you are that pretentious about your weed, I swear to God, you are the best kind of person because you know what's best for you. You go get them, girl. You know what
Yeah,
you got going for
yeah,
them.
yeah. If you want to be like, super snobby about how you partake on weed, or not even snobby, particular. If you want to be particular, that is awesome. You smoke the way you want to smoke, as long as you're enjoying it and it's bringing peace and happiness to your life. That's fantastic. We love it. And if you're out there just burning with whoever you see, however you can, then you're probably more like me and Curtis. Hook us
Yeah,
up with a joint or a bong or whatever, man.
just
We don't
don't
care.
just don't do anything stupid because otherwise you end up getting the cops called on you. Blah blah blah. You end up on the news, and then we get
As
to review you because you know what time it is, Shank.
Oh my God, it's the news time. It's
It's
what
time
is it?
for
It's
Weed News Worldwide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And today we news worldwide coming at you. The first story is one I picked up,
Mm.
and it's a little bit of a downer because I'm that guy. So far, like in the pod, I don't mind.
Oh,
I'm not Simon
oh,
Cowell, but I'm that
we're
guy.
gonna keep it on a downer note, but you go ahead and let us know.
Okay, I'll start us on a downer. So anyway, a lot of wildfires have been going on. Everybody knows that. World's pretty dry right now.
Yeah,
People fart, lights fire. So,
I don't want to blame the baby boomers,
but it's baby boomers.
but it was some
Uh,
baby boomers.
Not okay, boomer. Not okay. But so anyway, this is in Oregon. This news post is about Oregon, and they found out recently the ones that have marijuana businesses, such as like marijuana farms and hemp farms, and some other agricultural businesses, are not have recently found out they are not eligible for federal relief, which a federal agency confirmed recently. So basically, there are these loans that are small business administration disaster loans. So if you've got a business like a store or some crap like that, you can, and it burns down because of wildfire, you can be like, help, and they'll give
Well,
you money and you can
even
rebuild your
with
store.
that, I mean, even with that, I'm sure most people know about this. With Corona going around, a lot of small businesses had to take out these loans just to be able to survive.
That as well. That as well.
So it's
Just
along the
just to
same
survive.
thing.
Not even just for fires, but also for pandemics and everything else. These loans are in place
Just
so that
in
businesses that,
general,
yeah,
federal relief.
yeah,
But
federal relief, right? Yeah, that's exactly right, Curtis. Thank you. So these loans apparently are not eligible for marijuana businesses. So if they're a business that primarily deals with marijuana, they cannot apply for the loan, the Small Business Administration disaster loan, to repair their business. But it's a really weird situation. Like, what I find to be the most absurd kind of thing about the situation is that um, they say that if you are in that industry, if you work in the marijuana or hemp market and your primary residence gets destroyed by the fires, then you can apply for it, right? You're allowed to.
right,
But but if you were running the marijuana business like from your home, like your home was your main place of business, which I know you probably know a lot
yeah,
about farmers as much as I do, that farmers typically live on their farm.
of course,
So basically, they're
easiest.
saying that farmers who traditionally are like they're backbreaking laborers, they work harder than damn near anybody. They provide a lot of like this marijuana that goes to a lot of different people. I think what they were saying is that 20% of marijuana businesses in the state have been encouraged to evacuate. So that's like a big chunk, right? And I think they were saying that in the state, in Oregon, they have right now, it just broke its record for cannabis sales at $106 million in medical and recreational cannabis purchases, which means that the farmers growing there sold $106 million worth of medical and recreational cannabis. And that 20% of those farmers have been advised to evacuate. And if their farms burn down, they aren't covered by this loan. So luckily, hopefully, they'll
Right.
have insurance, and the insurance will be willing to cover it, which even then is probably sketchy because I know even some insurance companies have been giving
Of course.
marijuana businesses a hard
Right.
time about insurance. But like, the federal government, because obviously marijuana is still illegal on a federal level,
Right.
is
They
like
still can't give them
nah, fam.
these
Yeah, we're
federal
not.
loans.
Yeah, it's like nah, fam. We can't give you a federal grant. Like if you work in hemp or if you work in
Right.
cannabis, we cannot give it to you.
Which
Um,
which
yeah,
is also, one of those things that's weird because they won't do it for because I looked into that a little bit more once you told me the story, and it
yeah,
appears like they're not doing it for the privatized or in state run or state industrialized uh, cannabis things. They're only worried about any ones that have any form of ties with federal government or USDA agricultural, FDA for any of that stuff because they are testing, as we've talked about before, hemp
different
and
crops.
different the different applications of that, and as well as medical THC,
Yep,
which has
CBD
been
beef.
taking place, CBD beef,
CBD beef.
and of course this has been taking place in Oregon as well for a while now.
Yep. So it's
But
and that's exactly it.
on top of
It's
that,
really yeah.
these
It shows the
yeah when
colors of the
these
government sector when
organization
they do that kind of thing.
but when these kinds of farms are burning down or whatever, they're still getting their federal relief because they are still government subsidized properties or whatever.
They are
But
technically
since
government
on
studies, and they
but
are
because
for
on a
yeah,
federal level it is still illegal, you still can't have your private companies and still have them get their federal relief. So, which
exactly,
is
exactly.
unfortunate. So hopefully the federal government gives money to the state and the state can
And
choose to disperse that how
yep,
they need to and give that as state relief at least to these businesses
yep.
because they are
Or if
still
we're or if they're lucky,
gen
maybe the state banks will step in too. Like if
yeah,
they're lucky, maybe the
because at the
state
same
banks will step
time,
in and put in,
because
like step
everyone
up.
knows marijuana is a huge financial revenue for Oregon. In fact, any state or area where it's legal,
Yeah, it's
it's
a boom
always
business.
it's
Yeah, it's a
always a
boom
boom
business.
business. Always.
Yeah. Absolutely. So basically that's for the most part the whole gist of that story is that at the moment these businesses are currently facing a lot of hardships and hopefully I know a lot of damage has already been done, but luckily for everybody involved there haven't been that many injuries and also luckily the cannabis plants they can be regrown. The beautiful thing about marijuana is it's grown to burn. It's burning a bit sooner than it should. Curtis, we might need to make a trip down there. I'm gonna have to
Oh
fly to
yeah.
the States so that me and you can go to Oregon and just kind of stand in the middle of the field and just
We can be
like
backup
anime style.
ventilators for firefighters. We'll just
Yeah,
breathe the
firefight.
smoke
We'll just
before
run
they
ahead of
can.
them. Yeah, we'll run ahead of them so that they can just come through and there will be no smoke in the area where they ran through.
Exactly.
But yeah. So
I
like
can
I mean
imagine
yeah
us
like
just running into the middle of these pot fields, just like a huge
pulling
vortex
smoke.
of fucking smoke, and the fire
Tornado
just goes
appears.
towards the center. Everything
Two tornadoes
disappears.
just.
Everything completely disappears. Like, what happened? And then a mushroom cloud just appears out of the center. Did a bomb just come off?
Boom.
And then you hear from the distance,
And then another week.
like that.
Oh man, I can see that. That'd be friggin' hilarious, dude.
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
awesome.
bro. So what do you got? You give me a second story. You have anything uplifting, or is this keeping us on the down note?
Well, let's keep it on the down note. In
Let's keep it
fact,
on the
let's keep it on
down.
the absolute worst note possible. Because,
Oh,
um, even though it is unfortunate and it is sad that businesses get lost, there is one thing that hypothetically could be considered sadder than that, and that would
yeah.
be the loss of life. Now,
I don't even think hypothetically. I think I'm pretty sure in pretty much every situation. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna
let's just
morally weigh in on this one. Let's just say that losing lives is bad in general. But
let's
go
just
ahead.
losing it, loss in general is
Yeah,
bad, but
loss of life is bad in general. But go ahead.
now,
And loss in general. Yeah, it's bad. Go ahead.
unfortunately, 7 people have been murdered at a California illicit marijuana operation.
Oh shit. So like
The
7 people?
7 people. Allow me to read into this story, which comes to us from hightimes.com.
Is this like some John Wick shit, man? Like,
I don't believe so, but
oh,
7 people were fatally shot on Monday, which this is Monday, September 9th, 2020. So a
yeah,
couple weeks
beginning of
ago,
this
but
month. Yeah.
yeah, still.
Yeah, still beginning of the month.
So Deputies responded to the home early Monday morning after dispatchers received a call to 911 and took reports of shots fired and an assault with a deadly weapon occurring at the property. This was in Aguaga, or wait, Aguanga, an unincorporated area northeast of San Diego. Now, this is being labeled as a major organized crime type operation in
Well,
terms
I'd
of
say,
the grow
yeah. I was gonna
operation
say
and the
seven. Well,
actual.
seven people growing somewhere out in the boonies. Like that's definitely got to be some kind of gang or organized crime. That's not just a bunch of friends who decided to build a place
Oh,
out in
I'll
the
I'll get to
edge of nowhere.
the operation in a little bit, but
Yeah.
when after arriving at the scene, deputies discover a woman with gunshot wounds. The unidentified woman was taken by ambulance to the hospital where she died of her injuries. While searching the property, sheriff's deputies discovered 6 more gunshot victims who had all died at the scene. At Tuesday's press conference, Bianco said that the investigation had the mass killing. By the way, Bianco being Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
The sheriff
just
of the
Yeah. So
Riverside.
Bianco said that the investigation into the mass killing would likely lead to multiple other states or perhaps abroad. So this may be multi or interstate, international.
Well,
Not
yeah.
sure
Like
yet.
what? Like so,
But
what
what?
scale were they saying? Like what kind of
Well,
scale operation were they talking?
well, before that, the reason why it's possible that it might be multinational is because all of the victims and all of the on-site potential witnesses were all Laotians. Now, mind you, that Laotians is a specific ethnic group that is consistent of people both of the country of Laos and the country of Thailand in Southeast Asia. So, small ethnic group, but all of these people who were witnesses and victims were all this specific ethnic group in Southern California. Now, I don't know how this is
Hmm.
related, but just figured I'd say it because it was said.
Yeah.
Now,
Like well, that yeah. That's so it's
as for the compound itself, the deputies searching the property, which had more than 20 people living on it. So, of those 20,
oh so not a little
seven,
house.
not a little house, this was a large compound, discovered several hundred live cannabis plants and more than 1,000 pounds of already processed marijuana, ready,
Oh.
bagged, tagged, and ready to go.
So a decent, huge, pretty big scale operation then.
This site also had several separate spaces for cultivating marijuana, areas for processing the harvest, and a cannabis oil extraction facility.
Oh, so they're making oil
They had
too.
a whole lab. Authorities estimated the street value of the seized marijuana at up to $5 million.
Oh my God. Quick question though, and
Go ahead.
it's not to sound insensitive or anything, but a quick question about the article.
Yes.
Did they take their lawn tractor?
Uh, Surprisingly, it does not say anything about lawn tractors or
See?
guns.
Dude, they left their lawn tractor alone.
It doesn't even say that there was any like guns or high security or anything like that.
Fuck, man. I hope they catch that. Like, I mean, granted, growing the weed illegally and stuff like that for organized crime, that's bad. Like, that's the bad thing to
Absolutely.
do. Naughty, smack on the hand. Like, not good to do.
Yeah.
But like these people, like
It
that
seemed like
didn't,
it's a
I hope they
group.
catch the people who did this. Like,
It
I do
seems like
hope
it
they
was
catch.
just like a group of people who had finally gotten away, gotten to America, and just wanted to go somewhere to start a business
Yeah,
that they could.
or
And
they could have
marijuana,
potentially been forced into the situation even where they were up there growing weed, you know? Because I mean, I'm sure
it could have
most
been
people
some
probably
sort
wouldn't
of.
choose to live, like the American dream, living up in the middle of nowhere, working on a weed farm, you know? I still, though,
Sounds
to be fair,
perfect.
I
Sounds
could see
perfect to
that.
me.
That'd be a nice life for me, actually.
I'd love it.
Actually nix that because I'm sure there's a lot of our audience who would love to live up in the middle of nowhere in a nice warm part of America and just have a weed farm. So forget what I just said there.
You know what?
But
All
no,
right,
like,
we need something higher, uplifting,
okay,
stuff like
I
that.
got
Speaking
something
of
good.
which, how you doing, Shank? How you
Oh,
feeling?
I am feeling magnificent, man. I feel really good. This weed is treating me very, very well. The General is honestly generally a good weed. The name does not do its service, even though the General, like I said, it reminds me of the band Dispatch. the song "The General." You should listen to it.
Of course.
It's a great tune. Um,
But yeah,
Free advertisement for this bad,
nice,
but
nice.
the joint is very good. It's delicious. It's a really good one. I'm loving the balance of it. How about you? How's
Uh,
yours treating you?
Doing good, doing good. I'm chilling, relaxing, acting all cool, and my mind is staying straight, so I'm not drooling. Um, I didn't,
I'm picking up what you're putting down, bro.
I didn't use any copyright there, so nobody sue me.
Yeah, nope, nope, no Suze.
But do you have a? How's your first joint
Oh,
going?
I'm
Do you
still
still on it?
I've got another one right here.
Same
I
here.
actually burned that one pretty well down. I think I don't know if our audience, anybody out in the audience has one
If you
or
got
has a
one out there,
bowl
bro, this
or a
is your
pipe.
another time. If you got a bowl, a pipe, vape, don't matter. Take some weed,
Yeah,
burn it on a knife. I don't care.
yeah.
Get
Let's
that
pick this up a little bit.
get that THC inside of you. Lighters
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
bro. Smoke them up.
Yeah. What is that? Smoke one. Let's pick this up a little bit. Oh man.
Let that Jamaican music flow through your mind. Smoke the
Yeah.
ganja, feel good.
Okay. All right, all right, all right. So now,
We
brother,
need
I
something
got
uplifting.
good
So
news story. I have a
good
good
shit.
news story.
There
I
we
have
go.
a good
What you got?
one, and it makes me happy. So the FDA. Normally, they're like people are all like, "Oh, the FDA, what are they getting up to? Are they out in their volcano lair making up weird shit?" But aside from choosing how many insect leg parts are okay to put in a Mars bar, they also have decided that they are going to make it easier to approve CBD-based medicines.
Really?
That's right, man. It's great because they realize they've done a lot of extensive testing, and we're talking the most thorough kind of testing that you can like throw all of the capitalist money at. And they've found that CBD doesn't have you can't overdose. Like you literally can't. You can
Of
take
course.
all of it that you want, and eventually you'll just kind of fall asleep. but but you're not gonna die. Like I mean,
The
like
only way you could overdose on it is eat more pills than your stomach could handle, and you would
oh,
die
absolutely,
from
ruptured
something
stomach.
else.
Your
Yeah.
your stomach would rupture and you would die from a ruptured stomach. But it wouldn't be that or drop a giant crate full of it on top of your head. That's how CBD could kill you. If you have a
Yeah.
giant barrel full of CBD and drop it on your head, it'll kill you. But so they realized that, and so they were like, okay, we're gonna make it a lot easier as long as people stick within a certain set guideline that they're putting in place. And that guideline is very like it's pretty loose, but at the same time it's tight enough to control the ability to mess with it. So we're not going to be seeing stuff coming on the market that's going to be like CBD taurine Red Bull. Like it's not going to be anytime soon,
That'd be
unfortunately.
excellent.
I know it's unfortunately, but so basically they realize that they still have to use appropriate analytical methods and stuff like that to make sure that it's going to be safe to use it, and that it's going to be safe, that it's going to be coming from the correct cultivars and the correct species of weed.
Right.
So like basically they say only sativa can be used, and which is interesting.
Right. I
And
think it's because sativa has a higher pain tolerance itself, which is what these are mainly being done for, and
correct,
awakeners, as opposed
correct.
to being downers. It's supposed to be
Exactly
uppers.
that. Exactly that. So the sativas are being used, and what they're essentially doing is they're making it so that you need to have very specific, if you meet these specific indicators that they've chosen, then you will get to skip past the end stage testing, which is one of the longer stages of testing because it takes like I think 3 years. So even once you get past like all of your initial testing before it even goes for this final stage of testing, like that doesn't count for anything. Once it gets to the final stage, that stage takes 3 years, and this makes it so that you can skip that basically.
Nice.
So
I
it's
mean,
gonna be
what are
yeah.
these? Does it say what these restrictions are that they have to abide by?
It does indeed. It says that they need to follow appropriate analytical, they need to first and foremost they need to follow proper analytical methods, such as macroscopic and microscopic analysis, and they need to look at it and make sure that it's being made from the
Yeah.
proper plant. But they basically have said that it needs to be derived from cannabis sativa L, contain no more than 0.1% THC and have no inactive ingredient other change in formulation from the reference drug that they've listed. It doesn't say here, but from the reference drug that may significantly
I believe
significantly affect systemic availability. So basically, what they're
yeah,
saying
the
is,
FDA standard as of right now for what
yeah,
they do for their marijuana, which is
yeah,
their specific breed of growing it up.
exactly. So they're saying don't add anything extra to it. If you don't go ahead and take this strain of cannabis, and you don't add anything to it, such as like caffeine or any other
If
supplement
you
or
make it
anything
a
else,
if you make it a straight cannabis fill or CBD
CBD,
filled pill with less than zero
period.
point zero 0.01 THC and you want
Yep.
to put that on market,
And
it's
you're
clear, good to
using a
go.
medium, and you're using an already approved medium. So if you're using a medium that the FDA is already fully approved,
Like
um,
tablet
then
or
then you're
capsule,
good. Exactly, then you're good. You're 100% fine
then
to do
hell yeah.
so,
However,
and that's cool.
let's say you want to make a capsule that had like 80% CBD or 80 milligrams of CBD in it, and then it had 20 milligrams of, let's say, vitamin D or something like
Yeah,
that, like some kind of vitamin or something in that, or a mineral just to
that's
help you in the morning.
that's exactly the funniest thing about it is that it would be harder to get that approved than just a straight CBD pill. And in fact, it's really funny because if you went with a CBD pill, just a CBD pill, and wanted to get that approved and said, "Hey, I want to put this through for approval," and you took at the exact same time a vitamin C pill, like a vitamin C supplement that
Just
you
a
can buy,
straight
like a
vitamin C,
straight vitamin
nothing
C
with it in
pill,
it.
nothing else in it, maybe some iron or whatever, just for the
Right.
sake of, but like some iron or like just a vitamin pill, and you put them both to the FDA at the same time, the CBD one would be approved way faster than the vitamin with these new regulations, at least.
That's incredible. And that's
Yeah,
kind of funny. But
I know. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. It's pretty strange, and that's why I wanted to read that one because I think it's really great to get more CBD products out there in the market because I personally feel that CBD helps with a lot of things. You know, it can help people with managing symptoms of different things like diabetes and epilepsy and Parkinson's through doctor approved use and everything else. Make sure that you're talking to your physician and doing what they tell you to, but at the same time, I have chronic pain, and I know CBD helps me with that. That and the copious amounts of weed I smoke in general. But it's
well, while we're talking about CBD, I
yeah.
was actually reading a story earlier that actually goes
Oh,
into this,
oh,
involving
yeah.
new CBD lines in terms of new, you know,
Oh,
waves
like
of
Gucci.
got actually even more respected and honored in the marijuana community.
Oh, Lord, who we talking, buddy?
Martha Stewart is launching a highly anticipated CBD line.
Yeah, boy.
That's
Oh man,
it.
looks like
The
your time.
queen
Looks
of
like
home decor and sometimes notorious felon, and the friend of the legendary Snoop Dogg,
I was gonna
Martha
say. It looks like
Stewart.
hanging out with Snoop. Yeah, it looks like Snoop Dogg rubbed off on her, man.
Finally, yep. So she's getting into
Not in
it.
the way that most people thought behind the scenes, but that's hilarious, dude.
So her product line launched let's see, according to them last Thursday. This was September 23rd. So, which is the day we're recording this. So yeah, last Thursday. Her product line offers gummies, gels, and oils, and this will be under the umbrella of Canopy Growth.
Wait, that's Canadian, isn't it?
Yep, that is a company that is based in Canada. You will be able to
Dude,
easily buy these.
home doggy. Okay, so what we're gonna look at is one of two things. Because first and foremost, I hope that they export these to the States so that you can get your hands
Absolutely.
on some of these. Now, if that is not the case, this is, by the way, police, if you're listening to this, this is a hypothetical thing that will never actually happen. But I could either ship it to you, which I don't know the legality of that, so we can look it up online, or I will attach it to the bottom of a drone and carefully fly it from here all the way to where you are now and like drop it off.
I'm good. Dude, if they only sell it in fucking Canada, then I'll
Just
hope
grab someone, you come up here.
I well, it just depends on if Canada opens the borders.
No,
Rona. They kind of don't want Americans there right
I
now. But
know it
anyway,
sucks. I wish you know what sucks is like it's like I know for a fact that like it's not all Americans that are going to be sketchy. So we should like I mean I
now
don't necessarily like
here's
care
the
about the
thing though.
border and everything. I
These
wish they
are going to
do.
be a little bit more on the higher price range because obviously Martha
Oh
Stewart's
well,
fucking name is on
mm-hmm.
it.
Of course. It's Martha
But
friggin' Stewart. She don't make cheap shit.
they're sitting in the $30 to $40 price range.
She's still got to pay off her jail fees, I think.
But hey, her shows with Snoop Dogg are helping out with that.
Oh
But
man, they're
anyway,
so good. But go ahead, yeah, go
Stewart's
ahead.
line is featuring gummies that look like French fruit candies, also known as
Enchanté.
pâté de fruits.
Pâté de flute.
Pâté de fruits, if I'm
Pâté
saying
de
that
flute.
correctly. Yeah,
We're not saying it correctly at all.
cool.
Neither of us are. But that's fine. If you're
Sweet.
out there and you're French, comment down below how you would say that. And it's funny because we're just going to type it out in the comments and it's going to be words typed on it. And
It's just
we'll
going to
just
be
look at it and
P A
still
with an
say it.
accent over it, Teda, and then the word fruits.
Pâté de fruit.
Anyway, and she claims that the fruity
I am
inspiration
fruit.
behind the gummies was based on her two favorite spots, her garden and her kitchen. And they
Lit.
featured natural flavors including lemon, kumquat, blood orange, and huckleberry.
I love the word
Oh,
kumquat.
I love the word
Kumquat's like,
huckleberry and
huckleberry's
kumquat.
great. Kumquat's like one of the most fun words in the fucking world to say, though. Like, it's like pangolin. It's one of those words that's just like, you never get tired of saying it, but if you say it for a minute straight and nothing else, it stops sounding like a word.
It's true with every word.
I know.
One of
I
my
know.
favorite ones
So,
recently, because I've been looking at small electronics videos online, is
yeah,
Arduino.
Arduino. Yeah, Arduino is a great one too. Oh my, Arduino, it just comes off the mouth weird.
It's just so great. I
Yeah.
love it. But
So
anyway,
Martha Stewart making some yum yum gum gums,
yum
and
yum
actually,
gum
as I
bums,
recall, she's also making
some
like CBD
spoiled
drops and
oils.
shit too. Like she's making
Yep,
some oils. Yeah,
some
yeah.
poppy drops,
Dude, you
some
could put that. Oh, it's gonna be so great. Poppy
some
drops.
high flying shit and stits and stuff. I swear
I
to
don't
God,
know.
you're gonna take her stuff and then you're just gonna be like, God damn it, I need to destroy my living room and rebuild it. I
See,
need to
what
go
I'm
to
gonna do
Target.
is
I'm going to I'm going to
take some
shopcampy.com.
of
I'm
those
actually looking
gummies.
at this. Yep,
I'm
they're
gonna
available
take
for
because I
sale
can
right
buy
now.
those straight up. I'm going next time I pop in the LC. I'm gonna see if they're in there.
We got some soft
And
gels,
so
oil drops.
when I go in there, I'm gonna be like the Martha Stewart shit, and they're gonna be like, "What?" I'm gonna be like the fucking Martha Stewart shit. Come on, hook me up, and they'll be like, "Okay," and they'll hook me up, and then I'll bring them back here. And I know that I said that I would wait for a while before I reviewed any kind of edibles on the show. I would review those Martha Stewart things on the show because they're only CBD. They're not going to get me high. So I'll still review a weed strain on the show, but
And then we
as an
can
added
review those
bonus,
right out there.
yeah, as an added bonus, I'll get my hands on some of those and I'll review those. And if Curtis can get his hands on some kind of CBD candy that's not at all,
I'll go to
like psychoactive.
well, here, let me look up some more celebrity induced CBDs. See if there's anybody
Yeah.
else who has their
What else
pick.
you got?
Oh boy. Okay, so there's actually quite a few celebrities who have already gotten into the CBD business, including Martha Stewart.
Oh yeah. Well,
Well, of
Martha's a
course.
trendsetter.
Oh no, some of these have been around since before.
Oh really?
Yeah, like for example, obviously we got Willie Nelson here, one of
Of
the
course.
greatest singer-songwriters of all time. Like I'm not a huge fan of
CBD
country music,
again.
but he's got it.
I just can't wait to move from CBD again.
But yeah, he actually has his own line called Willie's Remedy. And
I've heard
Nelson's
about that before.
Yep, and his brands sell things like CBD coffee, teas, tinctures, and balms. That's
Yep,
another one of
because
those
the
fun
old man,
words.
yeah,
Tinctures.
tincture. Well, the old fella, I remember in an interview when he was hanging out there, I was watching a video about him talking about his guitar trigger.
Of course.
And he was talking about his guitar, and somebody asked him if he still smokes weed, if he can still keep up with Snoop Dogg anymore. And he said actually that he doesn't smoke weed anymore, which, I mean, it's sad. I was always hoping at some point in my life I'd be able to smoke a joint with Willie Nelson, but that's okay. It's good it's for his health. Now he's doing edibles.
Nice.
So he does pretty much exclusively edibles. So it's cool that he got into the business of doing edibles because if he's doing them himself, he's getting high
Yeah.
on his own supply.
On top of that, oh yeah. Well, on top of that, we also have obviously some sports superstars. Former NFL, yeah, former NFL player Ricky Williams and NBA uh, former NBA player turned analyst Paul Pierce both have their own CBD lines individually. And
Nice.
on top of that, even Rob Gronkowski has his own line that he started.
The Gronk?
The Gronk.
Nice.
Uh,
That's freaking sweet, dude.
so yeah. Oh, he planned to launch them in the spring of 2020, but I don't know if he actually got to that with Rona.
With Rona. So you know what, Buds? If you tune into the next episode, we'll give you an update on that. We'll look up some information and find out whatever became of that. Whether
So,
he launched that product somewhere or
dude,
whether he
dude,
didn't.
dude. Okay. So,
You okay, Curtis?
so, Bella Thorne has her own
Who's
line of
that?
CBD as well.
Is she a Twitch streamer?
Uh, I don't know.
Okay. What? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. She has. Okay. Bella Thorne has her own CBD. What's hers called?
Her CBD line is called Forbidden Flower.
A little on the nose, isn't it?
A little bit. She teamed up with Glass House Group in order to create this CBD line of products. Um,
Nice. Made up
uh,
is that down in the States?
down in the States, I believe.
You might be able to get your hands on some of that.
Oh yeah. We got Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay, hold
She
on.
teamed-
Before you go on with what she did, my favorite Whoopi thing that she ever did was she was at like a political rally or something, right? And so it was about the time when George Bush was trying to get voted in. I think it was Kerry or something, and she was there, and she said that she thinks that people are saying Bush, but they're using Bush wrong, and then she pointed at her pubic region, and said I think Bush only belongs in one place, and it's not in the White House, and people were angry at her. They were so mad, man. They were so mad. But honestly, I think that's hilarious. I love Whoopi.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
great on Star Trek.
But yeah, she partnered with let's see, Maya Elizabeth, the founder of OM Edibles, and they launched a brand called Whoopi and Maya, which they boast products such as soaks, rubs, and tinctures.
Ooh, tincture.
Most
There's that word again. Tincture.
exactly, mostly available in Colorado, but still very nice. Um, but by far my favorite here, Mike Tyson has created his own line of CBD.
Oh my God, no friggin'
Hold
with
it.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Okay, so here I'll read this like
All right,
so.
yeah, read it out to me. Read it out to me. Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of want it. No, I can't do the accent because otherwise it won't be as funny. Listen.
No.
So, in recent years, Mike Tyson has created his own cannabis line called Tyson Ranch. Now, with this cannabis line, he has also started to include a line of CBD enhanced beverages. Each drink contains 10 milligrams of CBD per bottle.
Ooh.
Now, you want to know what these beverages are called?
Oh yeah, what are they called? It's a CBD beverage, so I'm expecting something clever.
Dwank. Mike Tyson has a beverage
Yes.
called Dwank.
Dude, I gotta get my hands on this.
Dwiink.
Dwink.
Hello, my name is Mike Tyson, and I'm serving Dwink up in here. What do you want to buy? You know it. It's Dwink. You're gonna
See, I
love
can
it.
just see him on a commercial and him just staring at the camera. He's like, I'm gonna kiss the top of this bottle and I'm gonna dwink.
You want
And
a
then
Dwink?
he takes a big drink and the camera goes beside him and goes to like a profile shot and it just shows him tilting the bottle up and it says dwink on the side, but it's upside down and nobody wants to correct him. So they just leave it in. Like, and when he sees the take, he's like, that take is perfect. Leave that take in.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, Mike.
Okay. At the end of the commercial, Dwink, do you want one? I know you want one. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Oh man.
Okay,
That would be magnificent. Like, and I gotta get my hands on some of this. I gotta see
Oh,
how
yeah.
Dwink tastes.
I would love some Dwink.
Man, we can both Dwink some.
Exactly.
Oh my
But-
God, we'll Dwink some with our CBD beef. We'll sit down. We'll sit down. We'll play some Call of Duty. We'll have some CBD beef with some Twinks. You know,
Oh man.
see, that's the thing is, if I get some of those, I can tell people that I don't drink anymore because I've mentioned before in the podcast.
You don't drink
that
anymore.
I don't drink alcohol any longer. Not like personal choice. If you want to, go nuts. Just don't go crazy. But then I can tell people, no, I don't drink anymore, but I drink. Oh man, that's hilarious. But
Jesus
I don't know.
Christ.
I know Jesus Christ. But yeah, I think How are we doing for time there, Curtis?
We're getting a little close to time, but I think we do got time to smoke one more bowl with you gentlemen and
Yes, I
ladies
think so.
and fellas and non-binaries and binaries and horse people and aliens.
All of
and...
you individual sentient creatures out there listening to this podcast, and non-sentient if you're robots, or if you're sentient, you just whatever, just anything that happens to hear this podcast.
I
burn
fucked
one.
up and I didn't want. I fucked up and I want to be over inclusive. So everybody, fuck you. You
Yeah,
know
now,
what I
see,
meant.
now he has to counteract it by being negative, folks. See what you did. All right, anyway.
I was trying to be nice to everybody, but fuck all of you. All right, let's smoke some weeds.
All right, so yeah, rolling for the road, boys.
Later's up.
Later's up.
Oh, it's still uppercutting me. Oh.
Oh, this is beautiful, man. Love it.
That hairy ass.
Love it.
suck.
All right, so yeah, it looks like we pretty much are out of time for today. So
Exactly, bros. So, roll one for the road, bros. Good luck to you. We'll see you next week. Be sure to check us out on the Facebook, the Instagrams, the Twitters, all the other platforms. You know what to do.
yeah, and don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, and yell about this to the nearest religious organization to your house. Later, buds.
They'll combine and create a chorus and come to you on Christmas. Oh, goodbye.
All right, we're not gonna start singing Christmas songs. It's not early enough. It's not late enough yet. Wait till Halloween.
Okay.
We're gonna have to
Buds.
put out a special. I hope Halloween fall. Does Halloween fall on a Monday?
I don't know. Fuck it. It's 2020. Who cares?
Why are
anymore?
we doing an Irish goodbye?
Why
All right,
are we
later,
still here?
buds.
Later.
Later, buds.